everyone, this is Tasia from Chiron Divine Readings, and this weekend I have a new moon reading for you. So with the new moon coming up next Monday, I decided to do a little reading to get a sense for what it is that we need to focus on manifesting during this new moon, okay? And so, as always, I have 3 piles. However, I decided to do something a little bit differently. So for my oracle deck, I'm using the Moonology Manifestation deck, which seems fitting given that the new moon is all about manifesting, right? But I'm also going to be pulling some cards from my Angel Answer deck. So if you have a question that you want answered, I have a card for that. I also have a timing card as well as some other general advice cards, okay? So now that you know what's happening with this reading, let's go ahead and have you select the pile that speaks to you the most. So as always, let's take a deep breath. All right, and now let's select the pile that speaks to you the most. So is it pile number 1, pile number 2, or pile number 3? Okay? And then you can find the timestamp for your reading down below. Okay, pile number 1, this is your reading. So let's find out, what do you need to focus on manifesting during this new moon? So the first card is make time for self-love. Take a breather. Take inspired action. So what I'm getting is that you need to take a little bit of time for yourself. You know, as said here, maybe you've been putting a lot of effort into your work. Maybe you've been putting a lot of effort into other people, and now is the time for you to really invest the time in yourself, doing something that helps to aid in your own self-care, doing something that feeds your soul, and really taking the time to be still is what I'm getting from this take a breather. Like, if you've been stressed out lately, now more than ever is the time for you to manifest time for yourself, doing some self-care, doing something that helps to replenish you, because what I'm getting is that you've been doing a lot to give to others. Okay, pile number 1. So let's see what our angel cards have to say. Improving health. Let go. Communicate clearly. Ask your angels. So going back to what I was saying before about self-care, right? Perhaps you have been putting a lot of stress and strain on your body, and now Spirit is like, look, you need to take a breather. You need to do something to replenish yourself, because the way in which you're moving right now is not serving you. So really taking the time to focus on your health. You know, if you've had a recent appointment with the doctor and they said, hey, you need to do X, Y, and Z, do it. If you need to get more exercise, if you need to get more sleep, really investing the time to do so, okay? And with this let go, maybe there's some stress that you've been holding on to. Maybe there are certain situations that you've allowed to sort of get in the way of your own well-being. And so now is the time to really let go of that. Any stress, any frustration, just let it go, get it out, okay? And then communicate clearly. So if it is a situation where you've been doing a lot for others and now you need to make the time to do something for yourself, let people know what's going on. Let them know, look, I need a mental health minute, or I need to just take a step back. I need to do something for myself. And if they make you feel guilty about it, then perhaps that's something that needs to be explored, right? Because if they truly cared, they would understand that you need this time. And so as long as you are properly communicating what it is that you need, there shouldn't be an issue in terms of you getting that support, okay? And if you are feeling uncertain, definitely ask your angels for help. Ask them for some guidance. Ask them for a miracle so that you're able to get the time that you need, get the resources that you need to really invest in replenishing yourself, okay? All right, so let's get a sense for when it is that you need to really invest this time in yourself in the near future. So doing so as soon as possible is definitely needed, okay? Especially going back to this improving health card. It's like as soon as you take that time, then your health can improve, right? As soon as you decide to prioritize your needs, then things will sort of move in the way that you need them to. And so just making sure that you invest that time in the near future, okay? All right, so now I want you to ask a question related to this situation, related to this reading. I'll give you a second to do so. And then this is the answer to your question. Choose a new direction. Okay, so however that resonates for you, Spirit is saying choose a new direction. Okay, pile number 1. Okay, pile number 2, this is your reading. So what do you need to focus on manifesting during this new moon? So we have think it through, take a reality check, go for it. Okay, so what I'm getting is that perhaps there's a situation that may be brewing or something that you've been sort of dealing with for a while, and maybe you've been unsure on how to proceed from here. And what Spirit is suggesting is that you, one, take the time to really think about how to best move forward. Take the time to consider all of the possible options, all of the possible outcomes, all of the possible consequences. Just really invest the time to think things through. And then sort of do a reality check to make sure that whatever it is that you decide to do makes sense for the situation, right? Make sure that you're not getting caught up in something that isn't serving you. So once you decide what the plan is, do a little bit of a reality check to make sure that this is really feasible or this is really the direction that you need to go in. And then once you've done that, then just go for it. Do whatever it is that you feel called to do. Just make sure you follow these first 2 steps first, okay? All right, so let's look at these angel answer cards. So we have recovery, the situation will improve, compromise, no need to worry, and forgiveness. So I think this very much has to do with some kind of conflict that you may be dealing with, or some kind of conflict that you have been dealing with for some time. And so what Spirit is reassuring you is that once you do these things, there is the possibility for recovery. There is a possibility for the situation to improve. However, some compromise and forgiveness is needed. So as you're thinking things through, make sure that you are considering all of the options, including any places where you may need to compromise, or including any places where forgiveness may be required in order for you to move on, okay? Because a recovery is possible. You just have to sort of go through all of these steps to get there. But at the end of the day, don't lead with worry. Don't allow fear to guide you. Just really focus on improving the relationship or improving the situation, and try not to worry so much about where things are going or how it may turn out, because Spirit is reassuring you that as long as you consider all of the possibilities, you're going to be good. Okay, pile number 2. All right, so let's look at this timing card to get a sense for when you need to get this going. Okay. All right, so your timing card is take action. So now, essentially, now is the time for you to really focus on improving this situation, okay? All right, so now I want you to take a second to think of a question as it pertains to this situation. And then I'm going to show you this last card, which will represent the answer to that question, okay? So go ahead and think of your question. And then the answer to your question is yes. So however that resonates for you, the answer is yes to your question. Okay, pile number 2. All right, last but certainly not least, pile number 3. This is your reading. So let's get a sense for what it is that you need to focus on manifesting during this new moon. And so the first card says, let your fears dissolve. Next, detoxify. And last, forgive. So what I'm getting is that perhaps there are some feelings that have sort of been lingering for some time, and it sort of held you back, right? And Spirit is saying, look, you need to let that go. Whatever it is that you're fearful of, whatever it is that your ego seems to be sort of taunting you with, just let it go, let it dissolve. Focus on moving away from that and really detoxifying from it. So maybe doing some kind of spiritual detox, or even doing a physical detox, just doing something to not only mentally release these fears, but also physically and emotionally release these fears, like really getting it out of you. And then once you do so, forgiving yourself. Like as soon as I look at this forgive card, I get just making sure you're taking the time to forgive yourself. Maybe you're not proud of how you've allowed these things to hold you back, and Spirit doesn't want you to beat yourself up about it, right? Spirit wants you to let these things go and then forgive yourself. Or if it is a situation that involves someone else, once you let those feelings go, once you cleanse yourself of those thoughts, feelings, attitudes connected to your fears, then forgiving that person for whatever transpired in terms of the situation. Okay, pile number 3. Very interesting. So let's see what the angel answer cards have to say. So we have helpful people, meditation brings answers, trust. So what I'm getting is that as you work through releasing these fears and detoxing from whatever situation that is connected to this reading, really finding the people who will help support you in this journey. There are plenty of people around you who may be able to provide you with different resources or be able to give you some insight on how to move forward. And so those are the people that you need to be calling upon for assistance, right? And then spending some time meditating, because as the cards suggest, meditation brings answers. And so part of your detoxing could be really meditating and asking Spirit what it is that you need to focus on going forward, or how to call in the people to support you. Just using meditation as a tool for cleansing, but also receiving answers on how to move forward. And then trusting yourself and Spirit that things are going to be okay. Once you let these things go, you'll be in a much better place. And so trusting that you know what you're doing, trusting that Spirit is there to help you as you go through this process. And, you know, as I look at this card, like, you see the angel, right, behind this person, and there's another angel directly behind them. And so it's like you have this immense amount of support from Spirit, from your angels, to work through this. So just trust that they are there, okay? And so this timing card, let's get a sense for when it is that you really need to focus on doing this, or when can you anticipate this process being complete. So within the next few weeks. So using this new moon as an opportunity to start that process, and then continuing to do so as you go forward. And it's funny, like, one of the things that came to mind as I was just saying that is like those different cleanses. Like, I'm getting like the 21-day cleanse where you sort of eat certain foods to reset your body. And perhaps that's something that you may be called to do. And so with this being the 21-day detox, you know, that's 3 weeks, right? And so within the next few weeks. So finding a way to detox and recognizing that it's not going to be something that just happens overnight. As much as we may want it to do so, sometimes these things take time. So just being patient with yourself as you go through this process, and recognizing that within the next few weeks, you will have everything that you need to really let go. All right? Okay, so last but not least, I want you to think of a question as it pertains to this situation. I'll give you a second to do so. All right, so whatever your question is, this is the answer to it. No. All right. So whatever it is that you were asking about, Spirit is saying no, okay? So take that however that resonates for you. All right, pile number 3. Okay, that wraps up this weekend's new moon reading. I hope that one of these readings resonated with you. And if so, please be sure to like and share this reading with others. Also, make sure to subscribe to my channel down below so that you can be alerted to other readings that I do in the future, okay? Thank you, and have a great weekend.